Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Work at Home Rockstar Podcast. Very excited for today's guest. She's an Etsy coach, a marketer, and a YouTuber, and she helps Etsy sellers to turn their passions into profits by teaching them the exact steps to take their shop to full-time income. Very excited to be rocking out today with Nancy Badillo. Nancy, you ready to rock?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here. So let's start off on a good note. Tell me a story of success in your business or your personal life that we can be inspired by.
Well, I guess how I originally started with the digital space. So about 13 years ago, I had bought my first home in 2009. And in 2007, the recession hit and I was hit with that. And I actually started Googling how to make money online because my job at that moment, I was working at Bally's, were going through bankruptcy because of the recession. I had to quit school. I was going to DePaul University getting my bachelor's in biology. And I was paying for everything. I was paying for schooling. I was paying for my home. And because of the recession and everything hitting me hard, I literally remember like Googling online, like how to make money online. Because at that time, I remember people were making money online. I just didn't know really of anyone. I've never met anyone. And back then it was a lot harder than now to find people. And I started Googling how to make money online and just kind of like fell in love with digital space. It started with going through the worst hardship of my life and it turned into an actual career. So I started Googling how to make money online. Obviously, I didn't figure it out quick enough to save my home. I still lost my home. I still went through bankruptcy. I was working 3 jobs to try to save my home. And then I ended up losing my home. I was working at Kmart overnight. I was working at a bar called Funk over the weekends. And I was working at a company called Antenna Enterprises selling cable to my community, Hispanic people. And I wasn't making any money. I couldn't save my home. And eventually I ended up working at Verizon for 7 years. I worked there and I went back to school, got my bachelor's and master's in business administration because I figured if I couldn't make money online, I wanted to work in the digital space. I wanted to be a digital marketing. And I started dabbling with the digital space. And I was a little bit of everywhere. I was doing like blogging, I was doing affiliate marketing. I would create a blog and then flip it and sell it. But I was never making enough to quit my job and make this a full-time income. And that's kind of how it started with me in the digital space. It started with losing my home, recession hit me hard. And then now I work from home as a full-time Etsy coach, YouTuber creator, blog creator as well. And I teach people how to start a business on Etsy and give out small business tips. So that's kind of like my success. It came from the hardest time in my life, and it turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to me.
So what was the catalyst? Like, where did you go from not making enough to do it full time to being able to do it full time?
I think for me, it was when I got married, when I got engaged in 2014, a friend of mine was like, you need to shop on Etsy. They have like handmade items for weddings. And before that, I've never heard of Etsy. And I'm not a crafty person. I'm not one of those people that sews or knit or do anything like that. So Etsy wouldn't be one of my top places to shop, I guess, because I've never been crafty. But I remember that when I went in there to buy stuff for my wedding, because I was already doing digital marketing for such a long time, I went in there looking at it as a marketer. And I remember saying, wow, these people are making a killing in passive income because I ended up buying like these files from a customer. I bought like a sign, a wedding sign, table numbers, a seating chart, a whole bunch of stuff that I paid her like $65. I downloaded the files and then I had to edit the file, print them out myself. And I thought to myself, like, wow, like she just made $65 out of me and she didn't ship anything out. And then at that point, that was like my turning point. I was like, let me do an Etsy store for my blog as a case study. This was another project, another thing I wanted to try out to see if I could make money, right? This is another thing out of the 1,000 things I've already have done and kind of made money or failed at, or maybe didn't give it 100% my full energy like I should have. So I tried this, and then my first year on Etsy, without no experience, no handmade experience, I made about 21,000. And that's when my turning point went, because I was like, okay, I just made 21,000. The second year I was able to triple my income. And that's when I decided, okay, instead of being all over the place and trying to be like teach people how to do so many things, let me niche down and become an Xe coach and use my experience I already have with the digital space towards that. And that's how I started to become an Xe coach. And that's how I was able to start making enough to support myself and my family as well.
Wow. Wow. That's a great story. So you literally just went up there shopping and realized, hey, something's going on here. Maybe I need to be doing something like this too. And then you did it and then started teaching other people how to do it.
Exactly. And I will say this, because I was in crafty when I started, what I did was I wasn't selling like wedding stuff. What I did was I saw other stores. I started like researching, and I saw stores that were selling like quotes, like music quotes, movie quotes. And I was like, oh, I could do that. So I went to Word document. I would create a quote. I would save it as a PDF. I would upload it to my store and I would sell it. So like I would take a song from like Alicia Keys, This Girl's on Fire, and I would sell that for like $3 and people were buying it. I had no graphic design skill. I wasn't using Photoshop, Illustrator, nothing. Now, I will say this, the downside of doing that was that I didn't realize that just because everyone else was doing that on Etsy, it wasn't right, because I was doing copyright infringement. So that's the first mistake I made on Etsy. And after like doing thousands of listings, because it's really easy to do quotes, I was knocking like 20 listings per day because it's just a line, save it, and upload it to Etsy. It was pretty simple. But after I got hit with infringement notices from Etsy and my store was about to get shut down, I was like, okay, let me pump the brakes and learn all about intellectual property. So I taught myself about it. I had to start all over again. Literally took everything out. And I was like, you know what? I just planned my wedding. I just got married, because after this, I started my Etsy store after I got married. Even though I went in there looking at it when I got engaged. So I was like, you know what? I have experience with weddings now and I'm kind of like it. So I did a lot of research and I started learning how to create wedding printables, etc. And that's how I was able to triple my income, because I went from like a $2 print, $1 print, $5 prints to $40 for the seating chart, $25 for a poster sign. But that's kind of how my transition went. It didn't go as smooth, but to be quite honest, I'm really happy with it, because for me to do that for my first time in 1 year, to make 21,000 passive income while still working a full-time job, I mean, that was pretty amazing for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that when you mentioned the quotes, I'm like, isn't that copyright infringement? But yeah, I mean, if you see other people doing it, then you're just like, oh, maybe it's okay.
Uh-huh.
But now, I mean, I was going to talk about the bad note and the mistakes in business. Is that the biggest one, or do you have another one you want to share with us that?
No, yeah, that has been like one of the biggest. I think the biggest mistake I would say is not so much like copyright, but is more of being all over the place. I think that for me, the reason why it took me so long to be successful in the digital space was because every time I saw someone else do something, I jumped into that. Oh, they're doing that, let me try that. Or and if you're not focused on one thing and you're stretching yourself out too thin and you're trying to serve too many people, is a lot harder to grow. But when you're niche down and you just focus on that, it's so much easier to grow. As soon as I did that, I was able to grow my business. I was able to quit my full-time job and work my new job or my exit career as a full-time. I was able to make money. I was able to grow my credibility online a lot quicker. But before that, I was doing too many things. I know a lot, which is not a huge mistake, because to be honest, adversity gives you a lot of valuable insight. And it's all of those things I went through has made me who I am today and has given me all these tools that I know about digital marketing, like how to grow a Facebook group. I've been able to grow up to 200,000. My group now is about 89,000. How to grow a YouTube channel. Hopefully this year will be at 100,000. I'm almost at 91,000. So all of these experiences has helped me, for the better. But if I would have probably focused on one thing back then, whether it was blogging, affiliate marketing, website creation, whatever it was, I probably would have grew a lot quicker and then maybe open different avenues of different things that I wanted to add to it. I think that's the biggest mistake. But I always tell people, you either win or you learn. Everything you do online for your business is never really a complete failure, because all of these things have prepped me to be where I'm at today. And even though it took a little bit longer than I would have liked to, I'm actually more mature now to handle everything that comes along with growth as well. So I'm actually glad that it happened how it happened. And it is what it is. This is my journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so valuable, everything you just said, because I mean, eventually you're 100% right that you're going to have to pick something, because you can't just keep on flipping around. However, flipping around is not necessarily a bad thing, because it helps you figure out what it is that you want to do. Right. I mean, if you hadn't done that, you might have ended up choosing something that could have been successful, but you might not have loved it. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And another thing too is, when I did Etsy originally, I didn't do it because I was passionate about it, if I'm completely honest. I did it because it was another string of income. It was another way of possibly making money. So what I tell people is, like, do you have to be passionate about what you want to do? No, but you kind of have to. Either you have to be passionate about what you're doing so you could keep going when those moments that you're not making any money, or you have to be passionate about the outcome that you will get. Something. You have to be passionate about something, because if you're not passionate about it or the outcome, then you're going to quit easy.
Yeah.
It's going to be, when you don't make money or things go wrong or you did something you weren't supposed to do, like 1,000 listings of copyright and you got to start all over again, you're going to be like, oh, screw this. It's not even worth it. You're not going to push yourself.
Yeah, I think it's what is it? Starting with your why. I think if you don't have a reason, then anything is going to knock you over. But I think what you say there is really important, because you may not be passionate about the thing that you're doing, but you can always change that in your mind to make it into something that you are passionate about, right?
Yeah,
like you said, the outcome. Yeah, am I super excited about going in and doing Etsy stores? Maybe not. But I'm super excited about the outcome of being able to, provide for my family.
Exactly. And passion could always grow later. For me, that's what happened. Originally, I went in with it with the mindset of making money, and I was going to do whatever it took to make the money. And then afterwards, I developed passion. So passion could always grow as well. You could start something that maybe you're interested or you think will be fun, and then it could grow into something that you would have never thought. So now I am passionate about printables and digital products. Is pretty amazing, to be quite honest.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of it too comes from the passion of, seeing the result for the client that you're helping too, because, or the customer that you're serving, because when they get something that they really enjoy and they really love, and you get that testimonial, that's pretty awesome. Right.
It really is, especially because for me, it was even to the next level, because if I made the physical product, I could actually see it. But with digital products, because that's what I sold originally, I could never see the actual product. So the customers will actually review me with the actual product printed. And it was such an amazing feeling to see it actual printed, because I didn't print it. I just sent you a file. So just to even see it, it was so rewarding. And it's still rewarding to this day, because I still have my Etsy stores. But it was so rewarding to see that. And you're absolutely right.
Love it. Let's talk about practice makes perfect, or practice makes progress. I mean, you got to get good at what you're doing somehow. So how do you approach the topic?
I think it's just with time. I think what you have to realize that no matter what niche you go into, you're going to suck at first. Your first video is going to suck. Your first Etsy listing is going to suck. Your first podcast is going to suck. And originally, when I started my YouTube channel, because I am an introvert, all of my videos were screen share. I never really showed my face. I was actually pregnant at the time as well. And that's how I started, just baby steps. And a lot of the videos are not sized the right way. You see the little black lines on the side, horrible audio, horrible lighting. But your first of anything you do is gonna suck. And as you start doing it more and more, your confidence builds up. You learn, what to do, what not to do. You get better at it, but you just got to start. So you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So that's the progress, just start where you're at. a lot of people overcomplicate things. Oh, I don't have an audience. I don't have an email list. I know so many people that have less followers than me that were making more money than me at one point. And I was like, and it has nothing to do with the following. It has to do with the connection that you currently have, because you can have a whole bunch of followers and you don't have no genuine connection. No one's going to buy from you. So just start where you're at. Don't compare yourself to no one else. That's another one, that a huge one for me that I struggle with years. And just keep going at it and you'll get better and better and better as you go.
Absolutely. So now what about getting fans? You mentioned that, how do you go about building that audience, especially, maybe let's take ourselves to the beginning when, you're feeling like your stuff is not really that good. How do you go about getting fans when you're not even really confident about what you're doing?
So my strategy, and I think I hear a lot of people talk about this, like Gary Vee talks about it and other big bloggers talk about it, is give value all you can. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, it's ridiculous. I have over 780 videos. If you go to my competitors, they got like 40, 50, maybe 80 videos on top. Why do I have so many compared to them? Because I decided I was going to create this HubSpot of everything and anything you must know about Etsy. On top of that, for 3 years straight, not 1 year, not 2 months, 3 years straight, I gave free critiques. So people will sign up for my email list. Boom, I'm growing my email list now because they want a free critique. Then I would go take their store and I would do a full critique on Etsy. So now other people are learning about how to grow their Etsy store. I'm building credibility. I'm giving stuff for free and I'm giving value. That's all I did for 3 years. If you go back, I have over 150 stores that I did for free. I didn't charge anything. What people now charge. Now I stopped doing it now because I'm in a stage where I'm growing and I don't have the time for it because I have over 5,000 students. But that's what you do in the beginning. You give. And another thing is this: don't feel like you don't have nothing to offer or no one's going to listen. Always, I forgot who said this, so I apologize. I can't quote the person. Always remember, you're not trying to get the person that knows more than you. You're trying to teach to the person that knows less than you. There are going to be so many people that don't know anything about Etsy that will listen to me and be like, oh, she's an expert. And there's going to be so many people that might know more than me, might have more sales than me, right? That might not necessarily buy from me or think that I'm so special. So you always have to think, always remember that you're teaching to the people that know less than you. So therefore, when you are teaching, they're going to feel like, wow, she's amazing. But if you always provide a lot of value, then people are going to start following you, because at the end of the day, they don't want fluff. They want to go to your channel or to your blog or to your website, whatever you're offering. All they want is value. So start with value. That will help you build credibility. That will help you build a loyal fan, and start providing something, whether it's a free critique of their website, if you do website creations, or maybe you do something else, right? Like you help people grow their Instagram. Maybe you help people take their music take off, right? And you want to give them advice on how to do that. Whatever it is, just do that, provide a lot of value. That's all you have to start with. That's just enough to kind of get you going, and be consistent.
That's so
I mean, I was pregnant and still doing videos. I mean, the day I got induced to have my son, I was still working. I stopped because the contractions kick. I'm like, okay, now it's about to, let me turn off. I even have pictures of it. I'm like working, induced, about to have a baby, and I'm still working. So just be consistent with it as well.
That's amazing. That's so good. And like the analogy with music is so good. Like if you know how to play a few songs and you're an okay guitar player, you're not going to teach anything to Eric Clapton.
Exactly.
But there are a lot of people that know less than you. So when you think about the market, there is a far larger market of people that know less than you than know more than you.
Yeah. And now that you said music, I was my course is on Teachable. And I always interact with them on Instagram. And I was watching this lady's story. It's actually up right now if you guys go to it. This week they put it up like a regular post that you could see. This lady, I went to her Instagram. She has like less than 2,000 followers, but she teaches piano, like how to play piano. And she has shown her revenue on Teachable, and she was making like 6 figures, like over 250,000, or maybe a little less than that, but around there. And I was like, wow, like I wish I could just share this to my audience, because a lot of people always tell me, oh, it's easy for you because you have a large following. I'm like, it doesn't matter. There's people that have less than me, a fraction of me, and they're making more than me when I had more than them. At one point, I have more followers than them, and they're killing it. So yes, it is. It's just about value. And like you said, there's so many people out there that know a lot less, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And it's about courage and getting out there and doing it. And, you'll find out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about instruments to success. Like what do you use for instruments to or tools to get success?
I think this goes for majority of businesses out there. One of the most important things to do is have an email list, because when you start building your business, and you're using different platforms, whether you're using Etsy, you're renting a space there. Whether you have Instagram, you're renting a space there. Whether you have TikTok, you're renting a space there. Any given moment, if your account gets suspended or you do something that you weren't supposed to, you literally almost have to start all over again. But if you have an email list that you have built some type of following, you can always say, hey, I have my own website. I'm going to be using that instead of Etsy. So follow me there now. Or I don't have Instagram no more. You don't have to tell me got suspended, but we're going to be using more Facebook. We're there, and then send them an email there. So email marketing is really important. I think that for many people, they don't really understand it because they never had success with it, or they never really tried it. And it just goes with anything in life. When you don't understand the value of something, you don't take it as serious. For me, email marketing is crucial. It's like, it's something that I had for years, that I knew that I gave that advice to other people. This is another thing we tend to do, self-sabotage our own selves. We give advice to other people like, yeah, you need to do that, but then you don't do it yourself, right? Because you're scared of emails. Like me, English is my second language, so grammar is not the best, or you don't know what to write, or whatever excuse it is. But email marketing is really crucial. It's important for any type of business to grow. I think the second thing is, what I realized is the power of video, the power of coming in video. Like in the beginning, I didn't want to put my face on anything. All of my thumbnails, if you go back to my old videos, and I'm not lying, just go back to my channel, is thumbnails of other people. I never did it because, one, I'm an introvert. Two, I don't look a certain way. So I'm like self-conscious, obviously as a woman. And then it's like the introvertness took over me. And the moment that I started showing my face, the moment that I started putting my pictures on thumbnails, the moment I started doing Instagram stories, the moment I did all that, my audience told me, I am so happy to see you. The moment I did that, my business grew even more. I got more followers. I got more money. I got more credibility. I got more comments. I got more people actually telling me it's so nice to see you in camera, because I've watched the last year and never seen you on camera, maybe one or twice. So video is powerful. It's not going anywhere. It's growing. So the faster you do it, the easier it will get. And yes, many people are so scared to put themselves out there. They're scared of what other people would think. They're scared of whatever, reasoning behind it, maybe by their looks, whatever. But video marketing is so important to make a real connection with your audience. That's the second thing. And the third thing that I would say, tools, is connections. That's my word of the years, connections, making sure that I'm making genuine connections. Instead of saying, hey, Tim, thanks for watching my video, saying, hey, Tim, thanks for watching the video. What part of it did you like? How can I help you? How can I serve you? What is something that you would like me to do on my next video? That's what I'm doing this year, is how can I genuinely build a relationship with someone versus trying to rush to the next person. The retention, whoever follows you right now, is really, really important to focus on retention. We're always trying to focus on the new lead, the new sale, the new this, the new that. Focus on, it's important to get new leads, obviously, but it's important also to focus on that retention, on that person, because that person could drive more people back to you as well. Word of mouth, reputation, brand awareness. Addition to that, they will start liking your videos all the time, or whatever you're posting, Instagram, or your new blog post or your new product, that will refer it for you for free, just because you made a genuine connection. Everybody out here is trying to, outdo each other. But if you just focus on connecting with people, it makes such a huge difference. So video connections, email marketing, and just getting yourself out there. Don't try to master every platform. Pick one platform that you like, or pick the platform that you notice, okay, I get more interaction on Instagram than I do on Facebook or here or here. Focus on that, master it. And then once you feel confident, maybe work on another platform, but don't overstress yourself too much. Don't get overwhelmed. Do little things. Don't overcomplicate it.
Wow. That was so much value so quickly. And you know what? I think you just explained why not everybody is successful, because all of those things you just said are like not really, they're simple, but they're not easy. It's simple to set up an email list, but it's not easy. It's simple to take a video of yourself and show your face, but it is not easy. And it's simple to ask someone a question rather than just thanking them, but it's not easy. So well done. I hope people are going to be listening to that and going, okay, I get it now, right?
Yeah, it definitely makes a huge difference. And I struggle with everything, and I try to be as transparent as possible, because I don't want you to look at me and be like, oh, well, she grew her channel in the last 3 years. She's a 3-year success. No, I've been at this for 13 years in March. And for the first like 9-8 years, I didn't even make enough to quit my job. But something inside of me, I knew I was gonna, my plan A is make money online. Plan B is let me get a marketing degree on marketing. So if this doesn't work, that's how much I love marketing. I want to stick with this. And I actually ended up working at an ad agency for 5 years. So I got more experience in the digital space. So that's how much I loved it. I just kept going through it, even though I was making mistakes or not focusing, which was my biggest mistake, like, right, not niching down and focusing on something, growing my brand, and then pivoting and trying different things.
Wow. Okay, I think people are starting to think, hey, when's Nancy's guest solo? So let's do that now. Tell me what's exciting in your business.
So what's exciting in my business is that like you mentioned, Tim, I help Etsy sellers scale their Etsy shop to the next level. What makes me different from everyone else, and I don't say this to brag, this is a humble brag, is that one, I actually have a private Facebook group where I'm there Monday through Sunday. You read it, you heard it right. I'm there Monday through Sunday. I have a pinned thread on top of the group. So if you end up signing up for my Etsy mastery course, and when you're, stuck on a lesson or you have a question directly for me, you could add it in that thread and I will answer within 24 hours or less. That's guaranteed. Monday through Sunday, I never miss. If something happens, like my son was sick this whole week, I will let you guys know, my son is sick, but I'm still checking in. I'm always in there for some reason. So that's one thing. You get a lot of support from me. I'm not one of those admins that you see, I sign you up and then you never see me again. So I'm there. So that's what makes me different. Another thing is my course is 9 courses now in one. So you get the Etsy course, which is basically how to start, manage, and grow. So whether you are just starting and you have no idea what to sell, or you are a seasoned seller and you're trying to scale it to the next level, this course is for both people. In addition to that, you get 8 additional courses on top of that. So you get courses like how to use a Facebook group to grow a raving group of members that would love your products. I have grown groups up to 200,000. My largest group right now has 89, 90,000 around there. So I have a lot of experience in that. I have another course on Instagram. I have another course on how to use your Facebook profile as a sales funnel. I have a course on that. I have a course on Pinterest that you get. I get about 1.5 million monthly impressions on Pinterest. So I have a lot of experience with it. You get that. In addition, in the future, I'm going to be adding email marketing on the course as well. So any additional stuff I add, you get. So you get a whole bunch. And to be honest, I used to charge $597 for my course, which is a steal, even at $597. And when my husband in 2019 got diagnosed with cancer, I had a brain tumor, went through operating. I actually lowered the price because I didn't have the time to launch and close. And I was going through a lot. So I lowered the price. And it's probably the best thing I have done for many people. A lot of people tell me you should be charging way more, but I only charge $47 for my course. So not only are you getting 9 courses, you get the support of me 24/7. Plus, you're getting it at a very affordable price. Now, I am planning to raise the price in the future, but as of right now, it's still at 47 for anyone out there that is in need. And I did that because of COVID, and I did that because I'm fortunate enough that I make enough through affiliate marketing that I wanted to do more for my community. So some people might call me dumb for doing that. For me, it's just like helping as many people as I can. So that's what makes me different. And that's what I'm doing. I have, for those that cannot afford it, which I understand, I need 47 is really cheap. But if you can't, I understand because I hit I was bankrupt at one point. I had lost my house at one point. I had so many parking tickets from parking places where I couldn't park because I had 3 jobs and I had no other option but to park there. I understand. So for those of you that can't afford it, I have so many free resources. Like I said in the beginning, I have a channel that has over 700 videos. I mean, I don't know anyone else in my niche that has that much free content for people. And I post regularly on my Instagram, everywhere else as well. So I have a tons and tons of content, free and paid.
Wow. I was not expecting you to say $47. I really wasn't. Like, so, I mean, if you're listening to this, that is a crazy, crazy deal. I've never heard anything like that before. I wouldn't say dumb, maybe crazy.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much for rocking out with me today. Oh, wait, before we go, where do I find that?
Oh, of course. I do apologize. You could just easily just go to my website, nancybadillo.com. And when you go there, you'll find everything we talked about, from YouTube to my blog content to my courses, and all the services that I offer are all in that one place, nancybadillo.com.
And that's nancybadillo.com.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for rocking out with me today, Nancy. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, guys.
And to the listeners, we'll see you next time on the Work at Home Rockstar podcast.